Minnesotans need to do something about our failing transportation system. Let's hear again from Jennifer Munt, Director of Public Affairs and Public Policy for AFSCME Council 5, on how we can effectively voice our concerns with our elected officials on this vital issue, especially the bill being authored by Senator Scott Dibble.
Whether you drive or walk or bike or ride transit, you need to call your legislator. You need to tell your legislators that they need to fix transportation during the 2015 legislative session. Now, there are a lot of people who have bills for transportation, but people need to be smart when they see those proposals. They need to make sure that we have a proposal that does 4 things. First of all, we need to have a 10-year plan that makes a long-term commitment to fixing transportation. We've seen that the Band-Aid fixes just don't work on a problem this big. So it needs to be long-term. Second, it needs to be balanced. And by balanced, I mean it needs to serve the needs of the entire state, Greater Minnesota, as well as the metro area. Third, it needs to be comprehensive. What always happens at the Capitol is they pit the roads people against the transit people, and nobody gets a dime for fixing transportation. This time we need a multimodal solution that includes roads and bridges, as well as transit, bicycle, and pedestrian connections. And lastly, the money needs to be dedicated to transportation and gimmick-free. What we found is if money isn't dedicated during times of economic downturn, they redeploy the money to things like tax breaks for CEOs and big corporations. We need to make sure that if we're doing a user fee, that funding is dedicated to fixing transportation.
Is there a particular bill number yet? Because you said there are several.
We particularly favor the proposal that's coming out of the Senate. The author is Senator Scott Dibble. His proposal provides new revenue. My concern is that the Republicans made a proposal for 4 years. It's short term. It's only $750 million. Remember now, the cost of one bridge over the St. Croix costs $700 million. So $750 million from the Republican proposal is clearly insufficient. A 4-year solution isn't a long-term solution like Senator Dibble's bill. Also, the Republicans argue that there is a way to fix transportation with no new revenue. There is no way to do that unless we're willing to cannibalize other budgets. For example, the Republican proposal would take $200 million away from the budget surplus, and it would raid the general fund. So in effect, we would be patching potholes with students and seniors. You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And the taxpayers of Minnesota need to say to their legislators, we need to fix this session and it needs to be new revenue. We believe that the fairest way to do that is through modest user fees, where there is a gas tax for roads and a sales tax in the metro area for transit.
Thank you, Jennifer Munt, Director of Public Affairs and Public Policy for AFSCME Council 5, for your valuable insights.